Hi there, we are here in the warehouse at Propstore. Look at this giant warehouse. Go wide. Yeah. We're here at the warehouse with Brandon Allinger talking all about the big EMLA March 26th, 27th, and 28th. And this is a piece that is going to mean a lot to horror fans. And means nothing to me, and I'm just going to stand here for most of the rest of this thing because I've never seen this movie, and this scares me just being this close to it. So tell us what we got here. About it? Please.
This is from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and this is a really memorable piece for the film. I think if you're a fan of this franchise, this is a big one for you, and I don't think it's ever been available at public auction before.
Take your word for it. Yeah.
So, there's a gag in the film where basically Freddy possesses the TV, comes to life, kills a girl. And this is the prop they use for all of that. The puppet head here we see pop up out of it. It kind of breaks through a mucous membrane, and then later on they change out for the actor.
As heads often do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then they change out for Robert Englund in the makeup. The arms were fully mechanical, fully animatronic. The cables were cut at some point, so you can see the remnants of the cables here, but they don't function any longer. We got the Scotchlite material on the front. You know what Scotchlite is from lightsaber blades, right? So we can almost tie it to Star Wars.
I would much rather have it in a lightsaber.
It's a reflective product. That
can I trade this for a lightsaber?
I mean, we can talk. I love the hands. You see the signature Freddy blades on the mechanical TV hand.
Cool.
And the idea is it's like half Freddy, half television. So you've got all the television guts that have been strung out along.
Most of our viewing audience wasn't around in the 80s, but this kind of stuff used to happen to us all the time.
This is AI, I feel like. Isn't this AI in some sort of way?
Bit of it, yes.
More importantly, this comes from Planet Hollywood. This
Yes.
is part of their collection. And Propstore is featuring a whole bunch of items, which we're about to show you a few more of, but this comes from your association with them.
Yeah, and some really great pieces. I think in total there's over 80 items from a huge range of films, 80s, 90s, 2000s, some earlier pieces as well, one we'll show you in a second. But, you know, this is the type of thing that they had and held for many, many years that people just sort of wondered, where is it?
Do you know, like, was this on display at some point that people saw it somewhere?
I don't know where it was specifically, but I would guess it was.
It looks like something that would be actually an amazing display. I'm not sure you want to be eating your Captain Crunch chicken and looking at this thing.
Nothing makes me want to eat a BLT more than sitting under this. Yeah.
A little detail I love, it's a Kruger brand television. We've got a Kruger manufacturer label up there on the
It's
front,
actually quite amazing. I know nothing, but you got to see back here just to sort of see sort of how it kind of is put together, sort of behind the curtain. It's really quite excellent in just sort of, again, early technology, but getting a chance to see sort of all the controls and the wires and stuff.
This sort of 1980s kind of true special effects build, where you see all the kind of guts and working parts, and we haven't lifted it, but I'm sure this thing weighs about 300 pounds.
Just low budget, practical, and fun.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of other stuff, as we said, from Planet Hollywood. Let's take a look at a couple of other favorites. Now, this movie scared me in a completely different way. This is David Lynch, rest in peace. This is his Dune. This is an ornithopter, right out of the book. We also saw them in Denis Villeneuve's version. Yeah. But I love it. It is just a wild piece of miniature filmmaking from the early 80s. Another piece from the Planet Hollywood collection.
Yes.
Insane amount of electronics, gears, and motors.
Can't believe the guts inside.
So there's a story to that, which is that they originally hired on this film, I think it's Rafaela De Laurentiis, right?
Okay.
Yeah. She was the producer. They originally hired Apogee, John Dykstra and crew to do the visual effects. They started to build the models, including this, so that's why this is so well made and complex. And then they had some kind of falling out with her, I think because she wanted them to move to Mexico.
I was about to say about the bill. About the bill.
And they said, look, if you're going to shoot this stuff, motion control, blue screen, whatever, we have to do it at our facility. We can't move to Mexico. Right. So what wound up happening is they brought in a British crew. I think a guy named Brian Smithies was the lead on the model unit, but they inherited some of the stuff that Apogee had already built,
and then
including
they kind of further worked on it or kind of
modified
it, but we don't know.
And made other versions,
right.
et cetera.
And then a relative of his, Alan Smithy, ended up directing the film.
That's actually true, yeah, very well. Very good job. The legs actually do move. You can kind of lift them a little bit.
I think originally all kinds of things.
Right, I'm sure, but you can kind of get a sense. And then I think that opened, right? It kind of opened too, which is kind of wild.
Well, because this was the kind of the biggest challenge, and we've seen it now realized in Denis' film, is the ornithopter is described in the book as flying via beat wing flight, which is in ornithopter. It's
well, it
like
definitely
a bird.
has,
And
I guess, bird. Although I guess I was thinking these have like the legs of like more of like insectoid.
Yes.
I guess.
Well, that's
like,
where Denis went for the dragonfly.
Right.
But the beat wing flight is the action of a bird, or I guess a butterfly. Something. Yeah, exactly.
But you don't see it that much in the movie, unfortunately. We went and
Correct.
looked, and I mean, you do see it, but it doesn't play extensively.
Yeah,
So-
and you're more in the set, flying around with them,
right
versus
in the cockpit.
When they're in it.
outside.
Yeah.
Were
I
there
think they built
other
a full-
sizes too? There was a big
built
full
a
size
set
wow.
piece, and I know they had some smaller ones. There's some shots in the movie where it's very tiny in the frame. There's some good little documentaries you can watch on YouTube specifically about the model effects of Dune, and you'll see some of the model makers talking about this.
This is incredible. I had no idea that it was this complex on the inside, and I had no idea that the scale of the model was this big,
It's
because
big.
it seems it plays
Yes, I did
smaller.
not realize this existed this large, and the inside is like I can only assume
mean,
staring
it's-
into David Lynch's brain. Like you just stare into it.
It's like Brazil
Yeah.
in there. It's amazing.
We got one more pretty amazing Planet Hollywood piece. This is from their collection. We've been talking a lot about 80s, but this is something we go back a little bit, something really special. What is it, 1969?
Right?
9?
Eight. Or eight, okay.
Filmed in
Yeah.
8, maybe released in 9.
Yeah.
Let us step on over. I'm getting really good with the music, yeah. This is Dustin Hoffman's Benjamin Braddock Blazer from The Graduate. Mike Nichols, his first movie. Pretty incredible.
Screen matches.
Screen matches to which scene?
It's when he goes to the hotel to meet.
So he's going to the hotel,
Mrs.
and
Robinson
he has
for
the
the first
sequence
time.
with
Yeah.
Buck Henry, who is the writer of the screenplay, who plays the guy at the desk, and Benjamin is fumbling because he can't quite
I didn't
ask
know that
for
was
the
the
room.
screenwriter.
Yes,
I
he's the
didn't know
screenwriter. There you go. Yeah, I got some knowledge. I got some
tidbit.
knowledge.
Yeah.
We're good on camera
God,
sometimes.
I got to work with Buck Henry many years ago. Yeah, when I did comedy coverage of the Democratic and Republican Convention hosted by Al Franken in 1992.
Okay.
And Buck Henry told a story one night about doing rewrites for a big name producer whose name I will leave out because I think he might still be alive. And basically said, he's paid X amount of cash, he was put up in a hotel, and every day a woman would show up and basically to pick up the papers and give him a blowjob.
Hollywood.
The writer of The Graduate. I don't know if we can say that legally.
You, Mrs. Robinson.
We should point out this is a very tiny jacket. It is barely fitting on this men's mannequin.
Yep.
The best part. Can I show you the best part?
Yeah, please. Oh, the
best
label.
part
Yes,
is
come look at this
The
label.
label inside. So first we have just the Taylor, which is Harry Cherry, Beverly Hills, which I assume is long gone. And then you've got the specific manufacturing label in there with the handwritten Dustin Hoffman,
Yeah.
April 1967. How cool is that?
That is
And
just incredible.
I mean, this is certainly the only piece we've ever had from The Graduate. Great movie.
I don't even know what you would have
Right,
from
it's
The
not
Graduate.
a prop
Yeah,
movie,
exactly.
really,
Yeah,
but I mean,
the
Dustin
pool.
Hoffman
The
wardrobe.
pool. You want the pool.
That's right. Yeah.
That's still out there somewhere.
This is actually
Plastics.
this is to scale. This is Dustin Hoffman's actual height. We actually made him a little taller so we could shoot it. He's actually a little smaller.
He plays bigger on camera.
Yeah, this is tiny. I mean, this is really tiny, but it's kind of wonderful.
That's great.
But
If you haven't seen The Graduate, we cater a lot to science fiction, fantasy genre.
That is very true.
If you have not seen The Graduate, it truly is one of the
Wonderful
greatest
movie.
20 films of all time. I mean, really
incredible movie, incredible script. I don't
Yeah.
even know where to
Yeah,
start.
the-
Incredible
the
star-making
score, the
performance.
soundtrack,
Yes,
Simon
everything
and
about it. Yeah.
Garfunkel. Yeah.
But this is lovely. A lovely.
And I don't know if it's ever been in auction before. So this is like one of the real.
So this is probably
great
something
things.
that in like when Planet Hollywood was acquiring stuff, they were reaching out to various costume departments, former costume designers and whatnot. Very possibly just came from one of those places. Never saw auction,
Right.
And they just acquired it.
I
Which
mean,
is
Planet
really
Hollywood
cool. Yeah.
really kind of pioneered, acquiring this
No,
stuff.
they were the buyers,
And
yeah.
they had people on payroll who were just out there looking for things, people who were enthusiasts like us who kind of understood what it was, where it might be, and how you might go and get it. And they built, one of the most amazing collections ever, really.
To me, it's incredible that after all the various name auctions that they've done, auctions that they've done without their name on it, the stuff that they sell on their website alone on the planethollywood.com, whatever, that they are still able to give you pieces like the 3 pieces we just looked at,
really
and in particular
stuff.
this one, just as the cherry on top. It's really, really special. Have people been extra interested in this? As like, does a graduate like bring stuff out in people?
We've definitely had a few inquiries.
Yeah.
You know, we have a couple other great vintage pieces as well, like the Charlie Chaplin shoes in the auction. So we have had some vintage collectors specifically reaching out.
Coming out for those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Look, we don't sell that much vintage, but we have sold some key vintage pieces in the past, and we're always excited to bring that material in and handle it. Frankly, it's just we just don't have as much access to it, you know. So it's really special and exciting
Hollywood has
when something
it all.
shows up. Yeah.
And also because some of it is so tiny, the vintage stuff.
That's right.
That you misplace it. Yeah.
They were smaller back then.
Yeah. We didn't need to be big. We had faith. I don't know, something.
The pictures got small.
Something got small. Something got big. The Graduate, Planet Hollywood.
Plastics.
26th, 27th, 28th
Of March.
of March. Propstore auction.com.